g'day there folks, how are we today? Look who's with me! Finally, we got him at a Bang Chung again, oh my god. Anyway, look, I really don't know what the title of this video is going to be, but we want to talk about the LGBT marriage laws. We want to talk about Todd's troubles finding a place in Sathorn and a few other things like that. So stick around and we'll keep you a bit, we're going to have a bit of chit chat along the way. We're just going to do a bit more exploring of Bangkok. There we are, heading for the MRT, the BTS. We're going to go that way and then down that way. Sathorn's a long way from here, and that was one of the reasons why he didn't take Charles' house. He's looking for a place in Sathorn. It's near the western side of the city, near the river and everything else. Should work out well, but we'll talk about that on the way, okay? So stick around. Seriously folks, the best way to get around Bangkok is on the BTS and MRT lines. You just know where you're going. Here we are at the Siam interchange station here again, waiting for the train to go back the other way. This is the green line. I'd also like to add the fact that on the BTS and MRT BTS systems, you usually have a minimum of a 5-minute service, up to probably about an 8-minute service, and that's from 6 AM to midnight or thereabouts. Very efficient. I read recently the fact that they finally got the City Circle trains in Sydney down to a 5-minute service. And then of course the train broke down in the tunnel.
Don't they have an electrical fault with one of the train systems too?
Oh, there's all sorts, yeah. So it's a convenient system, and I think maximum fare I think on the BTS line is 62 baht or something like that, about $2.50. They can go from the farthest station to the farthest station for 62 baht. Really can't complain about that. The MRT again, I think the maximum fare on the MRT is 42 baht. And of course, if you've got the seniors card like me, you get away with only 22 baht, which is pretty cool. You know, less than $1 to go anywhere on the MRT line. Can't complain. Anyway, obviously we're going to wait for 5 minutes. I think we just missed one. So this is one of the things that I find probably the most inconvenient about the trains here. It's for short people. I don't know how many times I wrapped my head on this stuff.
You're too tall.
Well, you're the same height as me. Yeah, it can really, trying to walk down the train, yeah, no chance. So here we are at Salam Taxi in the BTS station. What we're doing, we're heading out to Robinson's, is that right?
Yes.
Robinson's, going to go grab a coffee. Yeah, so first thing I wanted to put up on the thing, let's not beat around the bush, right? Yes, there is a new law. This is one of the problems with doing YouTube these days, and the things that you can talk about, because so much stuff is in hearsay. Like currently there's a lot of talk about the tax laws and immigration laws and this, that and the other. But when you start to look at the bottom line, there's no new tax laws. There's a lot of speculation and people are hyping that shit up. But the one thing we can talk about is the whole new LGBTQ plus whatever, A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, they finally passed that law. It was signed by the King last Tuesday, I think it was. So it is actually a law that has been, done. Yeah, exactly. Gazetted, yeah, and it comes into effect on January the 22nd. And right, I'm going to stay right out there. No, we're not going to jump on that queue of the 1,000 people who are going to get married on that day. I've actually got a wedding to go to on the 26th of January, which, throws a big curveball on any of those plans. But I'm not going to worry about too much about the getting married thing. Right, it's now become an option. I'm going to do due diligence to talk about what benefits I might get out of that. And if there is no benefits for me, I'm going to stay on the current visa because it's easy. Talked about that before. Anyway, let's see if we can find it. Here we go, Robinson's. Doesn't look like much. Oh, nice big car park there. Oh, well, let's go and find coffee. Yeah, so that's one thing you're going to need to obviously understand about a lot of stuff you see on YouTube. Laws here in Thailand are very, very difficult to change. It's got to go through so much red tape to change a law. And just because some government body says this is a good idea does not make it law. So again, just do your own homework. There's a channel I watch repeatedly. It's called Integrity Legal here in Thailand. Benjamin. Well, I've met Benjamin before. He's one of the guys here in the Sukhumvit area. We quite often see him on the street wandering around, and he's in the know, right? That's what he does. That's his business. Is knowing how the law works, and that's it's quite funny. All we've heard from him for the last few months is probably every second or third video, reinstating the whole fact that none of this is law yet. So just keep your shirt on, guys. Don't panic. But that's it. One thing we can talk about now is the new marriage law. Now, again, different countries do different things. This is the third Asian country in that, well, the ASEAN countries that has actually allowed same-sex marriage. It's always one of those big questions, like, Janya's had full gender reassignment. Exactly why she can't change her ID card, it's whatever. It's one of those weird things. Again, it's because it's a subline and a subline and a subline of law, and trying to get these things changed is like next to impossible. And again, sort of all men in Thailand have to do conscription or go up for conscription, even if they are gender reassigned. It's really weird. Lady boys I can understand. If you've got a set of breasts, then they won't take you anyway. But gender reassignment, that's a fairly major situation. So why don't they allow the change of sex? I know Australia does, and we have thought about that in the past. Going to Australia, but we'd have to live in Australia for 4 years, and quite frankly, two people out of work living in Australia, my funds would soon dry up, if you know what I mean. So that never really was an option. It was one we discussed and everything else while I was still working and gainfully employed. But when I left, that's it. I've had 8 years out of the employment circle now. I really don't want to work for anybody. I really enjoy doing YouTube though, because it's a lot of fun. But anyway, so will we get married? Well, there's a chance. The real thing I want to know is, do I get every right as a regular couple, if you know what I mean? One of the things that is concerning, or not so much concerning, it's one of the things I didn't realise, it will mean we'll be allowed to adopt children. Now, whether I want an ankle biter running around the house, there's a lot of cons on that one. But of course, you're also going to look at the other side. Now, we're already looking after Ben, 1 week out of every 2, and we'll be doing that for the rest of our lives because he's family. The other sort of side is, who's going to look after us in our old age? We're looking after Mum, as part of what I said was an agreement we made when we first started dating, into the first dating thing. It is something we've worked on, and it's been very, very positive since 2011 when we asked Mum to move in with us, because she was renting a house across the street for the same amount we were paying for a 2-bedroom house, and one room wasn't getting used. So, well, makes sense, doesn't it? But these are sort of things you're going to have to deal with when it comes to relationships and challenges here in Thailand. There's so many little gotchas, and you're going to have to do your homework. You can always hit me up and ask questions on my Discord. I won't talk about relationship stuff on public forums like Facebook and everything else like that. I just find that impersonal. And of course, they scrape every bit of data, so you really don't. If you want to have a conversation about some of the pitfalls and traps of relationships, hit me up. You know what the Discord link is? It's down below there. You can't miss it. But anyway, I think we need coffee to talk about Sathorn and what Sathorn has and why Todd wants to move to Sathorn. Yeah, okay. Todd says that this Robinson's is going through renovations. It's probably another 2-year exercise like we had with the Mall Bangkok. We did that in the last video. But yeah, lots of boards up. But this is like the major shopping centre off the Salam Taksim BTS, or we might also say the Sathorn area. Sathorn's close to the river and everything else, and it's a convenient spot for getting on the boats and trains and all sorts of transport. So where's this coffee shop? Downstairs. Okay, let's go downstairs. So what do we got here? This is Tops Market. Yeah, this looks like the food area. Although we've had lunch, it's now time for a coffee. As I said before, Black Canyon. Oh yeah, again, pepper lunch, one of my favourites. I thought this was just a coffee shop, but yeah, they do everything. Appetizers, salads, vegetarian noodles, a la carte, yeah. I think just a coffee would do me. Yeah, so as you probably know from all the videos in the past, Todd was living out in my area, west of Bangkok, actually in the Nakhon Pathom province. Like Sai Si and Sai Ha are actually in Nakhon Pathom. So although they're fairly close to transport, and as I said, you can get on the MRT at Lak Song and get into the city, it sort of gets you out of the whole Chang Watana. You've probably heard that word 100,000 times when you're looking at Thailand. Yeah, you probably want to avoid Chang Watana at all costs, unless of course you know a good agent. But yeah, so Todd, as you know, he moved to to Bang Chang.
Bang Chang, yes.
Right. The reason why you moved to Bang Chang was for flying.
Yes.
Okay, give them a bit of a story on the flying, because this is a bit of a comedy.
Well,
Actually, it's sad as well.
Yeah.
There was somebody did die.
Yeah, flying was good,
Yeah.
but got a scare because the plane that I was training on, I went for a flight with the instructor, and then 2 days later that same plane crashed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately killed one of the people on board. And me being safety conscious, I've gone, there's a sign there, there's something there. So I've had to stop the flying, and that was one of the reasons I went down there.
Now, also, I think there was something about on the flying, they still haven't got a engineer's report.
I tried to follow it up, but never got it. But that's
One
by
of
the
those
by.
mysteries, yeah.
And also had issues with my eyes, which I don't mind talking about. I'm old, so recently I've had my cataracts done.
Cataracts done, yes.
So as soon as you say you have issues with your eyes, that's it. I had my license sort of nullified.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, what do I do now? And I sort of miss coming into town and hanging out and doing the videos and everything like that. So I've been sort of putting plans into place to move back.
Yeah.
And that has caused a plethora.
A can of worms.
Yeah.
Seriously, he's been telling about the dramas of trying to find a condo. One of the problems you're going to have with condo hunting here in Thailand, one, which has been recently brought to my attention, is they can only have a 49% ownership, well, a farang living there. Even if it's you renting off a Thai, there's only so many farangs can be in any one building, right? And of course, when these towers get built, they get bought up by different concerns and so on, and then after about 8 to 10 years, Thais don't want to buy them anymore. I've always left me wondering, so if you're in one of those things and you add just on the 49% foreigner occupancy, and then one Thai leaves, does that mean a farang has to leave too? If the percentage goes over the 49%?
I think it's the aggregate, it's the totality.
But if you've got 30 Thais living there and 30 farang living there, and a Thai moves out of one of those buildings or sells up, it has to be sold to a Thai.
Correct.
But if the Thai's not in there, do they have to kick a farang out?
No, because it's still owned by someone.
So it's a bit weird. There are some real catch-22s when it comes to ownership of condos here in Thailand. Renting really is one of the best options for anybody coming over here. It does mean the fact that you are, feathering somebody else's retirement nest egg, but it's convenient and it means you can get up and around quite easily. I do plan on doing some more condo checkout visits in the future if things come together. We've got a few people interested in looking more condo stuff. But right now Todd's looking for a condo in the Sathorn area. One, because it does mean the fact that if we actually get our riding back together, we could, meet halfway, which is not like me like, I'm not going to go into it. The reason why we haven't been riding is the fact that he's in Bangkok, I'm in Nakhon Pathom, and the most central place would be sort of east side of Bangkok, would have been about the most central place, and that's an hour and a half drive before we even go anywhere. So it sort of fell through that's enough of my riding stuff, but hopefully if we can find a place, it's going to be a bit more fun. Now, one of the things, as I said, we looked at the condo for Trolls, which is a friend of ours, and that one there looked like a very good potential of it. There are 2 bedrooms, quite well appointed. I think I got a video link for that one, you can check that out. And he was going to give you a special price and everything, but that fell through because just timings.
Timings. I have, because when I first came here I bought furniture and everything like that, and selling things secondhand in Thailand.
Yes,
I could do an hour-long video just on that for you.
How many tyre kickers have you had through the door?
Plenty. And I recently sold most of my stuff, and that I thought was all right.
That took like 4 months, 5 months, something like that.
And then they got a remover instead, and they've damaged half the walls in the house. So now I'm in the process of getting someone in to
fix that. That's one of the things about Thai accommodation. There are limits to what the lease will cover.
Yeah.
Looks like this, our coffee.
There's our coffee.
That's a little Black Canyon.
ขออภัยที่ให้รอคุณลูกค้ารับอาหารเครื่องดื่มได้แล้วค่ะ
Okay, cup and cup. You're not getting a tip, sorry. No tip for you. Yeah, nice looking coffee there. Black Canyon coffee is good. Yeah, so we were saying...
renting.
Yeah, renting. So that one fell through because he didn't want to have trolls hanging out for so long. And again, you don't do that to friends.
No. I mean, I was upfront with him. We knew exactly what was going on because he was in the process of moving as well.
Yeah.
So he sort of gave me some hints about how to sell furniture and stuff like that, and sort of being by myself and trying to translate to Thai people and everything like that. It was just sort of getting a little bit frustrating, but got most of it done now, because the reason behind that is most condos come fully finished.
Yeah.
And if they're not fully finished, the furniture I bought was for a house, not for a condo, so it wouldn't have fitted.
Wouldn't have worked anyway.
So that's been the process.
So your challenge now, I think you said most recently you look at a 2-bedroom one. Right, so of course he's got 2-bedroom because he wants to put a computer in the second room.
Have my computer room. It's my computer room. I've got to have a man cave.
Cave, yes.
And there's 2 prongs, and if I get the second one, remind me. This one I went to was awesome. The photos looked great, the price was right, was in the right location. Went to check it out personally, and there's one thing I will highly recommend. Come here, get temporary accommodation, whether it's a hotel or an Airbnb, until you visit the place personally, because the photos they put up on their websites look amazing.
Yep.
I went there, the second room was good enough for the computer room, but it was waterlogged. Water damaged. It had water
coming in the ceiling.
Which is perfect for computer equipment, let me tell you.
And you probably wouldn't even see that in the summer months.
No.
Just because you're looking in the rainy season. That's probably another clue.
Yeah.
Go and check the condo when it's raining.
And go 3 times, in the morning, during the day, and at night. Even if you don't go inside, just check the area for noise, what's going on, activity, and things like that. So that was one thing, and that leads me to the other one was, they can do amazing things on websites, but you need to check it personally. Really need to check it personally.
You can just never trust what they put on a website. Yes.
Because there was the second one I went to, and the photos were great, but the photos were taken when someone was living there, and the furniture looked nice and everything like that, and the place looked awesome. I turned up, someone hadn't been there for like 6 months, and
we smelled.
It smelled. There was dirt everywhere. There was damage to a lot of things. The 2 bathrooms completely needed to be refurbished because there'd been leaks and all the tiling and everything had rusted. So
what were they wanting for that?
That way,
26,000.
26,000 a month.
26,000 for a leaky roof, smelly, dungy. I'm not. Do people actually rent that stuff? Do they?
I don't know, but I mean, I need to be comfortable. Yes, I spend time out exploring and doing stuff like that, but also spend time on my computer. And the other hobby I'm doing at the moment is restoring old 8-bit retro computers like the Commodore 64 and the Commodore 128 and Spectrum C80 and the
You still haven't got your channel up and running yet. Come on.
No. Yeah. I don't think people want to watch me make complete and utter.
Do you want to see him muck around with Raspberry Pis and build retro computer stuff? Like, just comment below. We're going to get him working.
I need a place where I'm comfortable staying. And finding a place that I'm comfortable staying, like I said, go there in the morning, during the day, at night. Yeah. Because if you are sort of concentrating on doing stuff like that, and you're right next to the Rama 3 overpass, or you can't.
I remember those movies from the 70s, people, in those, brownstone buildings in New York, and they're right next to the, to all hours of the morning.
So it's been a challenge, but it's also been an adventure. I've sort of learned a lot about the area here just by travelling around and seeing different places. Because I think I mentioned with regards to the cataracts, St. Louis Hospital is my main hospital.
And that's pretty close to where you're looking. Yeah,
pretty close. It's in the Sathorn area. Yeah. So I'm sort of comfortable and know where things are. So
and that's from all your trips backwards and forwards in this area doing your eyes.
So it's a place I feel comfortable living. It's just finding the right spot.
Yeah.
And that does take time, because remember, most of the leases here are 12 months.
Yeah.
So if you do a lease and after the first sort of month you're not enjoying it, it's very hard to get out of a lease after being there for 1 month.
The lease you're currently on now, it's got a 2 months clause, which means you have to give them 2 months notice.
I have awesome landlords at the moment. Like I was saying when we were having coffee earlier, if I could just uplift the house I'm living in, put it somewhere around here, I'd be in nirvana. But it's sort of finding where things are that, and you won't find anything that's 100%. I don't really want to burst anyone's bubbles or thinking they can come here and find the perfect place and everything like that. You could probably find a place that's going to be 90% of what you need. You need to be flexible. You might find a place that's really, really nice, but it's about a K from any BTS or MRT station. Or you might find a place that's really close to a BTS, but it's also close to an 8-lane traffic highway. So you've just got to be flexible with what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So were you looking at a house option here in Bangkok?
That house is available. But again, for the budget I have, you'd be 1 or 2 Ks away from a major train station
you can rent houses in Bangkok. They're a little bit on the higher side of the fiscal side of making those judgment calls. As I said, Trolls was going to give you his 2-bedroom one for 18,000. He finally did lease that out for 24,000 a month, I think it was. That was going to be the friend's discount, because he knows Todd, and knows Todd looks after this place. I know when Todd was out there in our area, where you put astroturf down on the ground, you did all these renovations, you put this, and made the whole place really quite livable at his cost, only because of the fact you're living there. And that's something that you want to do. It's also one of the things, again, leasing. I think it's been brought to my attention that most of these leases won't do repairs, simply because of the fact that the lease might have like a 3,000 baht, clause in there, which means they will pay for the repairs if it's over 3,000 baht or something of that nature. You've got to go through your lease fairly carefully. But as I said, 99 times of 100, the sort of repairs they're going to get done in your house fall under that, under the 3,000 baht. Like I fixed the door lock on ours because the door lock broke. cost me 300 baht for the new lock at Thai What to Do, and 15 minutes work. That would have, if I got a Thai to do it. I'm allowed to do it on my own place. Don't get all up and shirty about working in Thailand bullshit. But you're allowed to do that to your place you're living, and I'm on the yellow book. There's absolutely no questions about that whatsoever. If I was renting, that would probably be a different matter.
It is.
Right, so you've got to know these sort of laws. You can't actually do fix-ups yourself, which means you've got to get a Thai in, but invariably, the Thai's going to do that job for 300 baht, under the 3,000 baht, so you're going to be paying out of your pocket anyway, so yeah, you're going to get used to that. Like, sinks blocked, sinks need washers changed, light bulbs need changed, blah, 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 all these sort of things, they're going to be out of your pocket. Whereas in Australia, and Todd rents a house in Australia, so how does that work in Australia?
I pay all the bills because I own the property. I've got a real estate agent that manages my properties, and of course, I have to pay.
You have to pay it. Even the smallest repairs in Australia, you have to pay for, do you?
If it's considered something that is part of the house.
Like plumbing, like you're changing a washer.
If it's just bits like that, they
waiver,
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a leaky tap that needs to be replaced, I've got to cover the cost on that. If it's a ceiling fan, I've got to cover the cost on that.
Which you wouldn't here in Thailand. You'd have to pay for yourself because it's going to be under that 3,000 or whatever the ceiling is. It's something people don't realise here, and and it can add up, especially the older style buildings.
Oh yeah,
that can add up a little bit. But and you've got to keep those things in mind, especially if they're paying what you said 26. What you're looking at?
The 2-bedroom condos. If you want I'd say a nice one, you're looking anywhere between 27, 28 to 45,000 baht a month. And that's on the outskirts. If you look on a map and work out where Sathorn is, it's not CBD. It's not in the centre of Bangkok. It's out towards the Prachar River, because Icon Siam is
just across the river.
Across the river, so it's in that area.
Yeah, we did a video on that run around a few months back.
So it's not like it's the central part, which is where everyone wants to be. But you can, I mean, there's condos here, 2-bedroom condos in one complex I looked at, just for the sake of looking at it while I was there. Their top floor ones, and it was a 42 floor complex, that was about 125,000 a month.
Yeah, they can go up in price.
125,000. That's my pension and everything gone. So you've got to be pragmatic about what you're trying to do and the lifestyle you want to lead, I suppose.
So like, you got any places lined up to look at in the next few weeks?
No, because I don't know whether I mentioned with some of the live streams. My mother is still in Australia. She's having a significant birthday this year, so I'm heading back for my mother's 80th. And
I was going to say 21 again.
Well, I don't know the divisional character to do that, but yes, my mum's 21 again. So going back for that, I'm going to spend some time in Australia to sort out a few things, and then when I come back, I'll be refreshed and ready to go again.
So I'm just thinking, like, hopefully we'll get to do a few condo visits when again, I want to do a few more look-arounds in the condos for you guys, just to get a bit of an idea of what prices are, because like they'll make up all sorts of weird, pictures in these. The only way you're really going to get a real look at is somebody with a camera doing a video and talking about it.
The other thing you've got to watch out for is, I don't know whether it's done deliberately or it's just the way the system is. You can go online and there's 3 or 4 really good websites to look at places for rent. But what I've found, and this is from my experience, 80 to 85% of them are already rented, but they still say vacant on the website. So I don't know whether it's a ploy to pull you into that agent or get you into that condo complex. But please be mindful, you might find, oh wow, this looks awesome, it's in the right place and everything like that. You contact the agent, oh no, that's already rented. And I've had a couple of terse discussions with a few agents saying, well, why haven't you said it's rented or taken off your website? You don't get a really straight answer.
Well, I'd have a pretty good answer for that one, of course, and that would be the fact that nobody knows how to build a website anymore. Like seriously, it is, like I said, I got my website, it's my blog, video blog website, and that's constant work for me. Like I've got every 2 or 3 days there's an update for a plug-in, and that's just me servicing my videos 2 posts a week. And there's at least an hour of work a week just maintaining the website. Plus there's costs. And again, these real estate agents, they wouldn't have a clue what's involved. They've paid somebody to put a website up. I think there's a couple of websites I have looked at in the past. I'll link those down below as well. You could definitely sort of have a look at those. I think thaiproperty.com is one of them.
Hipflat's another one. Hipflat.
Okay, so he'll send me that link because I don't know that one. We'll put them down there. You can definitely have a look at what's around. They do allow you to put, like a drop-down search for the area. So the way you would do that is you'd get your map out, throw a pin in the dartboard, where do you want to live, start there, look at the main zone, right, search that zone, you get the whole idea. I know it's old school web, it's not on Facebook anymore, I'm pretty sure that the whole world's been dumbed down, it really has, It frustrates me. But yeah, so there's a lot of work involved. Anyway, I don't want to drag this video out too long. I just wanted to sort of give you a bit of an update on the marriage laws and some of the challenges you have here when it comes to looking at condos and renting and things like that. I said that the thing that obviously I got out of a rental, because Shonda wanted to buy, that seemed like a wise idea for me. Whereas we like the house, we could have easily rented something like that in the area. But there are certain cultural aspects that we really haven't really covered in the videos, which there is a cultural significance, especially within family, to actually own. Like I think this is the first generation from 3 generations that's in Shunya's family that actually ever owned a house. Well, okay, the bank owns it and she's paying it off, but still it's more than they've had for 3 generations. Shonya's family on the father's side, she's actually part Japanese. Not another story, which I don't have enough information to tell you about that. But Shonya's father's mother was Japanese, or the vice. So she has Japanese genealogy somewhere. It's another story for another day. She's always wanted to go back to Japan, and I've been trying to avoid that one like the plague. Japan's just too cold, even in the summer months, I'm sorry. But anyway, a few little tips there for you for the whole rental idea. So hopefully that's something that you'll take to heed and make better decisions. Definitely hit us up on Discord if you want any clues about that. That's where I communicate. I know it might be a challenge for some of these Luddites out there who don't know how to use a computer. Well, guess what? You can learn. You can take a little bottle of blue pills, a couple of them, no problem. That's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sorry about that. I think episode 9, when they go to the planet Brontitol, and they meet Lintilla. And Lintilla.
It's been so long since I've been, yeah.
Don't get me started on hitchhikers. Anyway, guys, hopefully it was useful, and we'll catch up with you next video. Stay tuned.